Hello everybody and welcome to my video! I will start actually filming here in a moment, but right now I've got a cat. Okay, I think we're ready to actually start talking about books. May TBR! Are we ready to go? I'm ready to go. There are books. I have books that I want to read in the month of May. Here they are. I have them all stacked up for you. Here, you can kind of see what some of them are. Woo! And I'm going to talk about them all right now. Okay, so the very first book I want to get to is Nevermore. I really wanted to get to Nevermore in April because, you know, the whole April showers thing and the umbrellas, and it just felt very April. But I didn't get there, which is cool. I read a lot of good stuff in April. The main character's name is Morgan, and Morgan is cursed, and Morgan is blamed for like all the bad things that happen in her town and that happen around her and that even happen to her. And I think in this book, she gets rescued from her curse and she gets whisked away to a magical place. It looks really fun. And look at this giant cat in the window. Like, I don't even know. Like, that cat just looks so big. Like, is there actually a giant cat in this book? I don't know. But it's so colorful and so beautiful. And I think people are actually like flying around with umbrellas. It just looks like so much fun and so colorful. So hopefully this weekend I'm gonna get to this. So the very next book I want to pick up after Nevermore. Okay, my nose itches when I start filming. Does that happen to you guys? Like, as soon as like you start talking a lot, like with the camera on, my nose just goes crazy and just starts itching. Anyway, that's Nevermore. The very next book I want to pick up after Nevermore is Sleeping Giants. I think his name is Sylvain Neuvel. Sylvain Neuvel, I think is this author's name. I've struggled to say it before, but I think that's what it is. Anyway, so this one looks so intriguing and I cannot wait to pick this up. Look at all these gears in there. Like, I think it's gonna be really mechanical. Okay, so like the first line of the premise is a girl named Rose is riding her new bike near her home in Deadwood, South Dakota, when she falls through the earth into the palm of a giant metal hand. Like, it kind of sounds like Stranger Things a little bit, and I don't know, like, it's just so exciting. So like, there's this giant metal thing. I think it's either like a robot or like an alien, or maybe like an alien robot or something underground, and I don't know, I think it gets woken up at some point in this book, and I don't know, but like, there's more of the premise, but I don't like to read like the whole premise of a book because I like to be really, really surprised. But this just sounds so fun and so nostalgic, and it reminds me of like the 90s, just like riding your bike around and going on adventures, and like nobody really cares what you're doing. I think it's gonna be lots of fun. I think it's gonna feel like a big adventure, and I can't wait to pick up this book. Like, and I think it's gonna be a really fast read because I also heard that this book was like kind of epistolary style. So what an epistolary is it's a book in the form of like letters and things like that. So I don't know what the epistolary style looks like for this particular book, because other epistolaries like Illuminae and like, I know I've read others, I just can't think of others. They each kind of have their own kind of style of like how the letters or the epistolary elements are added in. So anyway, I'm excited to see what that looks like for this particular book. I think these two are going to take my top priority after those two. So here's why. Okay, you guys, I haven't gotten to the Witchlands yet, and I feel very bad about that. And I really want to get to it. And so I'm gonna hopefully pick it up this month very soon. There's already multiple books in the series. I have heard so much about this. This is the first book in a whole series called the Witchland series by Susan Dennard. And this first book is Truth Witch. And I think this book is about like two best friends that both have magical abilities, and I think in the Witchlands world there's like a whole bunch of different magical abilities. And so the main character is a truth witch, and so her magical ability is to discern truth from lies. And I think the other main character is a thread witch, and she can see the invisible ties that bind everybody together. So this sounds like such a unique and interesting magic system. It sounds very different from anything I've ever read before. And I can't wait to give this series a shot. It's been on my radar for so long. This book has actually been on my TBR for a really long time. It's been on that shelf. And like, I just want to get to it. But the thing is, this is the first book in a series. And I have so many series that I'm in the middle of right now. I feel like I need to finish things before I start something new. You know, who else feels that way, right? So, in order to make me feel better, so I want to read this, but I also want to pick up this, and I'm hoping to pick up The Invasion of the Tearling first before I pick up Truth Witch, even though I really just want to read Truth Witch, but I'm gonna try and maybe push it more towards the end of the month so that I feel like I'm getting through my massive shelf of books and all the series that I'm in the middle of that I haven't completed yet. I want to make more progress, you know? So this is the second book in the Tearling series. I read the first book like a year ago, and it was good and I loved it, but then I was just in so many different series that like the second book just sat on my shelf and I just never got to it. You guys know how that happens, right? Doesn't that happen to everybody like a lot? Anyway, also I was reading a comment somewhere on the internet about this book, and I kind of got spoiled for some stuff that happens in this book, and I was really kind of bummed. And I don't know, I was just like scrolling through and I just saw it and I was like, oh, that's what happens in The Invasion of the Tearling? Like, really? And I don't know. And so I just kind of left it sitting on my shelf for a while and was just kind of bummed and didn't really want to pick it up because I was like, well, I already know what's gonna happen. You know, I am looking forward to reading it and finding out for myself because like the first Tearling book was like one of my favorite fantasy books of all time, and I just loved it so much. And it just brought out all those warm, fuzzy fantasy feelings, you know? And the main character is such a badass and she's such a fighter. And I just love that she just gets thrust into the situation that nobody would know how to deal with, but she figures out how to deal with it. And she just like, yeah, she just takes it on and goes after it. And I love this main character. And I love this whole world. Like, it's so interesting and just so fun. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that. But so I want to continue with the Tearling series. I want to do that this month. So there's that. There's Truth Witch. Okay, so these are like the main ones I want to get to, but it doesn't seem that ambitious because Invasion of the Tearling is kind of thick, but like these ones I feel like I could just fly through these two really, really fast, and then Truth Witch I could probably fly through really fast. So 4 books doesn't seem like enough of a challenge for me this month, even though those were the main ones that I wanted to get through. So like I went through my TBR shelf and I was like, well, if I have extra time in the month, what else do I want to pick up? So going with the theme of I need to finish things that I've started, I have not finished The Raven Cycle. I read the first 2. I think the first 2 are even like right here on my shelf. I read those like last year, was super interested in The Raven Cycle. Like, I love the Dream Thieves, I love the Raven Boys, and then I came to Blue Lily Lily Blue and I just left it on my shelf. I kind of lost steam and didn't grab it immediately after I finished the first 2. So this has been on my shelf for, I feel like about a year now. I honestly have no idea what this book is going to be about. I think it's going to be about Blue, probably. Okay, The Raven Cycle is, I'll just show you some of these books. So The Raven Cycle is about this group of guys and a girl named Blue who goes looking for these ley lines that are supposed to lead to the Raven King. And the Raven King is like this magical being that can grant a wish, I think. I'm trying to remember. It's been a year since I've read the first 2. But I believe that like he can grant a wish. So like this group of kids, kind of they're high school age, they go follow these ley lines and they follow this giant big mystery that they have to unravel and pick apart in order to find the Raven King. So this is like the third book in that series. I love Blue and I love her whole family, and I think it's gonna be fun. So I would say these books are they urban fantasy, or are they magical realism, or they've definitely got like a lot of magical supernatural elements to them. I don't know exactly what to call them. I'm sure there's a term for it. I'm just not thinking of it right now. I feel like there are ways. I feel like there are terms and things to describe these books, but they're just not coming to me at the moment. But anyway, so yes, I want to get to Blue Lily, Lily Blue this month. And okay, so if I have any extra time in the month, I want to get to The Unseen World by Liz Moore. So what I think this book is about is like, it's a girl genius whose parent, I think it's her father, disappears, and then there's like a lot of magical elements, and then she goes on a search for him. Okay, I'll read you like a snippet from the inside cover. It is, oh gosh, I don't even know how to say her last name. So, Ada is raised by David, her brilliant, eccentric, socially inept single father who directs a computer science lab in 1980s Boston. Homeschooled, Ada accompanies David to work every day. By 12, she's a painfully shy prodigy. The lab begins to gain acclaim, and at the same time, David's mysterious history comes into question. His mind begins to falter, leaving Ada virtually an orphan. And then she embarks on a mission to uncover her father's secrets. Cool. I think there's gonna be magical elements though, so sounds super interesting. I don't know. There might not be magical elements, but I feel like there were magical elements. And like other book reviews and stuff that I've heard about this book, like I feel like people have mentioned magical elements. So I'll have to read it myself and find out, but isn't this cover just the most interesting picture ever? Like, just her face is just so mysterious. I don't know. And like, I love shy people, and I love reading from shy people's perspectives, especially like really brilliant shy people. So like, I think this book is going to be right up my alley. Anyway, so let me recap for you. Wow, there's this one, and then there's this one. These are all the books that I want to get to in the month of May. If you've read any of these books, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you thought about it. Oh boy. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. I have a cat in my lap. What are you doing? Oh boy. What are you doing? Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. I love you guys so much, and have the best day ever. Bye.